What's up, you guys? So it's way back Wednesday, and it's my chance to get into all the old school tea that I have been curating this week. And for today, I want to focus on tea from behind the scenes of Martin, the hit 90s sitcom. And I want to start off with a little known beef between Martin Lawrence and Carl Anthony Payne. For fans of Martin, the beloved 90s sitcom, Carl Anthony Payne's character Cole Brown was a lovable but dim-witted friend who was always good for a laugh. His on-screen chemistry with Martin Lawrence made for a lot of memorable moments. But behind the scenes, things weren't always smooth. Carl Payne and Martin Lawrence's off-screen relationship was far more complicated, filled with tension and a feud that actually lasted for decades. So we're going to get into that in this video, but first, if you're watching, make sure you are subscribed and click the thumbs up button if you like videos like this. Okay, so Carl Anthony Payne's career began in the mid-1980s with a role on The Cosby Show as Walter Cockroach Bradley, where he was introduced to many as the fun and energetic friend of Theo Huxtable. And this role showcased his comedic timing, and soon he was working steadily, making appearances in shows like Hull High and Quantum Leap. Do y'all remember Quantum Leap? Put a 1 in the comments if you remember Quantum Leap. It wasn't until 1992 that Carl Payne landed the role of Cole Brown on Martin, the show that would define his career. Martin was a cultural phenomenon, with Carl Payne playing the role of Martin Lawrence's goofy sidekick, adding another layer of humor to the show's dynamic. And even though Carl Payne's role in Martin became his most iconic, he continued to act after the show's end, with credits like Jack and Jill, Young Dylan, and Fifth Ward. Martin Lawrence, the leading star of Martin, was no stranger to fame by the time the show aired in 1992. He had already made a name for himself as a comedian on Def Comedy Jam, where his raw and brash comedic style captured the attention of many. His transition from stand-up to acting seemed natural, with his charisma and humor translating effortlessly to television. In Martin, he played the character of Martin Payne, a loud and opinionated DJ turned talk show host, and it quickly became one of the most successful sitcoms of the 90s. The show propelled Martin Lawrence into superstardom, leading to major roles in movies like Bad Boys, Blue Streak, and Big Mama's House. By the mid-1990s, Martin Lawrence was a household name in both television and movies. But despite their on-screen chemistry, rumors began swirling about tension between Carl Anthony Payne and Martin Lawrence during the show's run. While most of the attention at the time was on the very public feud between Martin Lawrence and Tisha Campbell, Carl Payne's issues with Martin Lawrence went largely unnoticed until much later. In an interview, Carl Payne shed light on the situation, admitting that things started off fine between him and Martin Lawrence. However, as the seasons progressed, the dynamic began to shift. Carl Payne described many tense days on set, pointing out that Martin Lawrence seemed to have personal demons he was battling, which made him difficult to work with. He said, quote, "We had a lot of tense days on the set. He said, I live by a certain code of ethics. I'm from Harlem. You know how we do. Yeah, we had issues, but I think he, as in Martin, had issues within himself already. I don't think he was in a good place at that time." Carl Payne went on to say that while he tried to keep things professional, the mistreatment eventually crossed a line. And he emphasized that while they were like family, families fight, but for a while the set became an uncomfortable place to work. He said, quote, "Once you cross the line and you come at me in a way that I can't sleep at night or feel like you're threatening me, then it's a different story."
Take the gloves off now.
Yeah. Okay,
You ready?
go for the gut. Go for the
Alright,
gut.
cool. Now I heard from a reliable source, very reliable, somebody that used to be on the show, the Martin,
Yeah, go ahead.
that you and Martin did not get along. He was always undermining you and whatnot, and he picked on you real hard. Is that true or false?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What was y'all issue?
I don't know. I could tell you what. I never had an issue. You know what I'm saying? I developed an issue. Like, if you got an issue with me, I'm gonna be like, what's up? You good? I ain't got no problem with you. So if you got a problem with me at some point, then
Did you fuck one of Martin girls or some shit, man?
nigga, please. Nah, again, if anybody did something like that, not saying that this is what happened, but just to comment on your statement, he would have had to been getting one of mine because I was there first. Like I've been around way before him, way longer. So if anything, yeah, he would have got my leftovers. But that's not
wow.
I'm just keeping it 100.
Right,
like,
right.
nah, but that's not what happened. I'm just bullshitting.
No, you're not.
I'm just bullshitting. Nah,
He's just serious.
yeah, he I mean, everybody, it's no secret, you know what I'm saying? We had a lot of tense days on the set. We had a lot of intense days on the set. Yeah.
What was that all about? I mean, you add into the show. You're a big part of it. Everybody do that now.
Right.
Because of you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you would say, what's the problem?
I don't get it.
Right.
Yeah, and then you seem like a real down to earth, cool dude, man. I don't.
I would say the same thing. I was like, what's the problem? What's the problem?
You ain't never check him and say, hey, man.
I ain't say that. I'm just, I ain't say that. You know what I mean? I ain't say that. But look. I mean,
Hey, Cole, you can talk about this. This ain't gonna mess up the reunion special.
no, because that's never gonna happen anyway.
Okay.
Nah, I mean, again, I live by a certain code of ethics. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Harlem. You know how we do.
You from Harlem?
I'm from Harlem. Yeah.
I live in Harlem. That's crazy.
What part?
It's my audience.
Yeah. Okay. I'm from the. See. Nah, you can talk about this. Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't want these niggas robbed. I already got kids following me home and all kind of shit. We in Atlanta. They ain't gonna know. You ain't got to drive in New York.
Yeah, that's true. That's
You
true.
ain't
That's true.
you can walk your ass off everywhere, and I walk everywhere.
Yeah,
but in Atlanta, you can tell a nigga what part of town. You can say, I say in Gwinnett or whatever.
Right.
What part, nigga?
Right.
Yeah, come on.
All right, so to address the situation real quick, it's like this. It's old news to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, we had issues. He had issues with himself, really. I think he was battling his own demons. You know what I'm saying? And I wish him nothing but the best. I mean, hopefully he's better now. You know what I'm saying? In a better place. I don't think he was in a good place at that time. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. It was a great place to work for a long time, and then it became a not so great place to work. I keep it professional as much as I can until you step over that line. You cross the line and you come at me in a way that I can't sleep at night, or I feel like you threatening me, then it's a different story. Period.
To this day, Martin is one of everybody's favorite shows.
I had a ball. I enjoyed it. I learned as much as I possibly could. I mean, it was like, come on, man, to go to work every day and do something like that. I mean, the chemistry, and that's what it was. It was chemistry, and I think that's what happened too. We were all like family. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times it's really not like that. But that's the kind of thing that's innate and organic. You can't find that kind of lightning in a bottle, really. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you can tell those shows have become hits. And that's what it was for us, And yeah, family fights sometimes. Family get down, you know what I mean? And I enjoyed myself to the fullest when we were doing it.
While Carl Payne's beef with Martin Lawrence simmered under the radar, the relationship between Martin Lawrence and Tisha Campbell exploded into the public eye. Tisha Campbell, who played Gina Waters, Martin's girlfriend on the show, filed a lawsuit against Martin during the show's final season, accusing him of harassment and inappropriate behavior on set. And the lawsuit shook the cast and crew, causing a rift between Tisha Campbell and Martin Lawrence that for a time seemed irreparable. Tisha Campbell alleged that Martin Lawrence had physically and emotionally abused her through harassment, battery, and violent threats. And while Martin Lawrence denied these allegations, the lawsuit cast a shadow over the final season of Martin. Tisha Campbell refused to film scenes with Martin, and the show ended shortly after the lawsuit was filed. For many fans, the sudden end of Martin was a shock. Martin Lawrence later claimed that it was simply time for the show to end, but the controversies and tension on set told a completely different story. In any case, for years, Carl Payne and Martin Lawrence went without speaking. Their feud remained largely unresolved until tragedy struck in 2016 with the passing of their fellow Martin co-star Tommy Ford, who played Tommy Strawn on the show. Ford's passing became the catalyst for reconciliation between the two former co-stars. At Ford's funeral, Carl Payne and Martin Lawrence reconnected, and Carl later reflected on the moment, expressing how time and personal growth helped mend their relationship. He said, quote, "I think people grow. At the end of the day, the things you may have been mad about at 20-something, for me, I was in a whole other space." So it was clear that both of them had matured over the years, and the pain of their feud no longer held the same weight. Martin Lawrence, who had also grown and moved past his own personal struggles, was open to mending fences. Despite the drama that unfolded off-screen, Martin remains one of the most iconic sitcoms of the 90s, loved by fans for its humor and memorable characters. Even as the cast faced challenges behind the scenes, they managed to create something that continues to resonate with audiences today. You guys leave a comment and share your thoughts on Martin Lawrence not only treating Tisha Campbell horribly on the set of Martin and assaulting her, allegedly, but also bullying Carl Anthony Payne to the point where he had beef with him too. In one of my next videos, we're going to dive more into Carl Anthony Payne's love life and him and Bobby Brown having the same baby mother and the real life regular job he ended up having to do when Martin ended. It wasn't as smooth as you might think. So stay tuned for that video as well. And as always, thanks for watching.